75th meeting of the General Assembly. So Eswatini is in that senior leadership position. And when the report is presented, I'm sure if His Majesty will be the one at that table, he will be looking at what are the views coming from my country. And this is the reason we're here. We want to make sure that that report also represents him as well, so that he's proud to be among the leaders of the world and they're discussing this report. And he says, actually, yes, in Eswatini we have made a contribution to the problems of the world. So this is why we're here, to get your views. So we are going to encourage you to be free, be frank, be as candid as you can. We are not, I'm not sure there is a secret service around here, but we want you to speak your mind. We want you to speak constructive things, and we want you to think global. You can make reference to Eswatini, that's not an issue, because we deal with local solutions as well. But we want you to think about things that the head of state can actually say, I think as a world we should do this, not just as, you know, as a country. So yeah, I want us to think big. So before we start, I saw Umpati Waga UNYC by the door. I hope he's here. So we'll start with the official welcoming remarks from him. And immediately after that, Magepiwa will lead us in the discussion on UN75. And myself and Umgoni will be assisting her as we do that. We are quite a big group. We'll just try and make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. There's quite a lot of discussion topics, so I don't think anybody will be left out. Okay. So I will, at this juncture, ENYC CEO was here, but he's managing a situation in the office. So he has asked that we proceed. Mr. Sumelane would give a few remarks on his behalf. Thank you.
Good afternoon, evening, morning. Ngupi gap. Ksaksen. Sanvusela bugnen. You don't seem to be alive. Sanvusela bugnen. Ni youth noma sengangam. You don't seem to be, you're not behaving like young people. Sanvusela bugnen. Yeah, I'm taking care of a certain situation at the office, so he has tasked me to just share a few words of welcome. Sanmugela, siyajabula ukuthi senkhona nihambile na travel naba safe. Angeke ngigitse ligogweni bokunene. Niyalathi ligogo? Niyawathi gitse ligogweni ukuthi yini? That is why kumcoka ukuthi sitimatanise nani ne-culture. Sito wathi nakukhulunywa sheshe sive ukuthi kuthiwani. Nangithi ke ngeke ngigitse ligogweni bokunene ngisho ukuthi ngeke ngisabuyela kula sakushito babemngadi because ngasichitha ini ke kunjalo. Kodwa lesitakusho bekunene ukuthi feel free to express yourself. This is the opportunity to engage, to deliberate, right? So be as open as possible. Think globally. Like ashito babemngadi, think globally. Ukuthi umhlaba na ungahlanganisa X na Y na Z kungaba indzawo lengcono for bantfu labasha. Are we together? Are we together? Lengidawucela ukwendlulisa beke kunene kunako ukuthi in as much as we should be free in our expression, but akungangeni emakhosi elive sikanye kanye. Are we together? Asifuni bese kukhawuthakala emakhosi elive. Sekuba netindlela sethi khulunywa letingabeki kahle emakhosi elive. inhlonipho asiyigcine kodwa asikhulumeni lama issues as they are, sikhululeke sithi express sitokwenza umhlaba abe yindlawo lengcono for bonke emaswati la youth ukuthi aphile kiyo. Are we together? Welcome and let's engage babe mngadi, asingabi solo sichitha isikhathi bekunene, siyabonga.
No time wasted.
So I want you to start by answering this question for me. Who are we? What are we a part of? What's important? And you will be shouting back to me. When I say who are we, you are telling me the future. What are we a part of? You are the solution. What's important? Our voices. Okay. Who are we? Are these my youth? You exchange them for some elderly or over that. Who are we? What are we part of? What is important? I want you to keep that in mind as we continue. We are the future. We are part of the solution. Our voices are important. Okay. So, the hidden secret in the bag, COVID-19. Okay. I want you to think about how has COVID-19 affected you? You, muntu future. You, young person. Has it affected you positively? Has it affected you negatively? I want to see the hands of those that say COVID-19 has had some positive effects in my life. I want the hands. Show of hands. Okay, there's one. Okay, we are seeing part of positive from Mabemgati.
1, 2, 3.
And those that say it has affected me negatively.
I check.
More hands, all hands. Okay, let's start with the positive. Let's start on the good note. Those that say it has affected me positively. How is it? Can you, yes, but help me out with the mics, please. There's some that are saying it has affected them positively.
Okay, where was the answer? Positive. I'll hold for you.
COVID-19 affected positively in a way because ngibuyele ekhaya ngahlala phasi ngathola isikhathi sekuthi analyze nokuthi ngirealize intfo bengingatati ngami nekuthi na umuntu lomusha njengoba besolo sikhona kuba free sehla senyuka besiva ngathi lempilo i-right kani bengekho right kukhona tinto besingaticabanga the moment sehla senyuka mina ngisifile kubuyela ngiseklishe down ngicabanga ukuthi okay since sekunana i-COVID-19 ngitiphi tintfo lengingatenta kuze ngitithuthukise njengemlomusha nekuthi ngingabasita kanjani abanye bantfu empilweni yami So ngidawuthi ke ngiloko kube positive. Ngikhonile ku shut down. Ngithi dadishe kabandi, ngihlolisise ngase ngiyadithola ukuthi ngingibani. Njalo nje business lengiyicabangile ene ngiyayibona successful. Kube akabi ne COVID-19, bengeke ngibe naso isikhathi sekuyicabanga. Ngiyicabangisisa ngayindlela engiyicabanga ngayo. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, ube ne self reflection buti ngalesikhathi se COVID-19. Uhlale phansi waba ne self reflection. There was another hand next to him babemgadi.
Bless you everyone.
No.
COVID-19 ibena okay ngitreat positive to ngitreat positive kanjani ngekuthi I was able to learn a short course during the COVID-19 kanti kube bengasiyona mhlambe ngabe bengibhizi ngezinto zami letinye letihlukile other than yona. Lokunye I realized some things. The creativity God has given me, ngahlala phasi ngabuthi Nkosi ngiphile kuba creative, and then I came up with new ideas and ngabuka future ukuthi okay, since ishintsha, what is it that I'm supposed to invent or to bring to the world, something lensha that lengakabonakali. So ngiloko. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Puti, he upgraded himself wakhona kwendi cause thide.
Mina ke Nkosi yami ngijabulise kakhulu emva ukuthi ngibonile beta bonke labakithi lekhaya, ngibabona nebengingabadi. Sahlala nabo phasi salungisa lapho bengalungi khona ngoba umangala nje ukuthi hawu nalona sesekhona asambeni sesonveni majankulunkulu nidzinga ninjoba ninje. So kubonakala ukuthi abantu batena ngasi babhizi kakhulu abantu nendoda yabo kuta Kristu. So disite kakhulu ngiyabonga.
Kumbuyisela umndeni wakhe wahlangana wababona bonke abaqhubeka esondweni. Siyabonga. I need two more babemgadi of the positives. There is a lady here.
COVID-19 ingivisile buhlungu partially ngalokuthi kube sekuvalwa tikolo bathi ingisite ukuthi ngibonile icareer yami bengilomshalo vlaphako ikhakuna amanengi but kwavele nje kwathiwa ngamamarch nakuthiwa asiphume hayi ngacala ngabona emasimu amakhulu ngangena ngafaka emahlabishi ngatibona ukuthi no COVID-19 noma ngathiwani ngeke uze inyona okay uzivuthisele nje business ngoba angeke uze usikwenede sisu ngiva ngathi nemsebenta ngokhanuki ungisitile COVID-19.
Siyabonga sisi. Yes ma'am.
Yeah, I mean I have both positive and negative, but lo negative undabukhuluma. Yeah, okay, i-COVID-19 lengubonile kimi. Okay, bengiba busy esaluni kunele kuvalwa konke kwavalwa then ngahlala phansi ngacabanga ukuthi ngenda ini kwabuya timvo etinengi ngadenda ngaya engadzeni ngalima spinach and as you can see la ngaphandle the world is green. Ngesikhathi ukuthi COVID spinach boseswele edolobheni bakuthengisele sa 10 rand sibe ngi4 but inyalo uthola sa 10 rand sesinengi emaklabishi bambayalima bantu ema-families lamanengi bakhonile connecta with their families babuya bobabe bahlala nabomake babo emakhaya bakhona kwakha imindeni iyakhula bayakhona kuvana nalabe banetinkinga bakhonile kutilungisa kulesikhathi lesi. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, siyabonga sisi. It brought about opportunities that people seized.
COVID-19 affected positive. I got to learn a new skill to interact with Bamfula Basha using the social media platforms. I even developed and started my new YouTube channel on Nkulumangema issues that affect Bamfula Bancha and getting my interactions from Bamfula Bancha. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kuvuke ma skills la mashalana wavula ma YouTube channels. Basiza the moment. Yes, Buti. I'm going to move to the negative now.
Sanibonani kwesibili. Mina i-COVID-19 affected positively ngekuthi bengisolo ngiva buhlungu ukuthi ema siblings ami angena phasi embida kakhulu And so ke kwathiwa le mbida iyavalwa bobhuti bami nabosisi bami seba fresh nasebusweni ngiyajabula bayakhona nokunginaka nami.
Ikulethele okuhle kakhulu. Bampa bakini seba fresh nakuvalwa timbida. Okay, can we move?
1, 2.
Oh, last one. Okay, good.
Mina lokube positive ku COVID-19 ukuthi as fresh from school, I recently graduated, so ngisibe nebhadi ke ukuthi bese i-COVID-19 iyanza fast, but lokube positive lokuthi kungivula ingqondo ukuthi ngicabange i-business than ukuthi ngicabange ukuthi yonconcotha ezivele besingakavumeleki ukuthi siphume sihambe siyofuna imisebenzi and stuff.
Innovations lalethwe i-COVID. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to the negative. Lalabati, uyabona affected negatively i-COVID. Yes.
Sanibonani. I-COVID is affecting kakhulu thina bantu labasha, especially to our communities. Now ufika nje endzaweni ukhanza ukuthi a young lady like me, so vele uqalile so uphumela abafana because of umntwana wakhe akasasebenzi, so kude lo tamprovide ngema basic needs. 2, i-COVID-19 is affected kakhulu thina bantu labasha, especially our families. I-violence iyakhula emakhaya because bamfana nebatali abasatayeli kuhlala ndzawonye babe so ubuyile eJozi akasasebenzi so uhlukumeta bamfa bakhe la ekhaya. So vele COVID-19 it is nje inhluphe kakhulu as move lo musha. Thank you.
Income, loss of income resulted in people looking for alternatives to trying to get by, as well as kubuya my parents into the household, leading to gender-based violence within the household or tensions within the household. Yes, but
COVID-19 ngibona ungathi mina ayikangiphathi kahle kulolu hlangothi lokuthi sibantu labasha basemthonganeni we were running a foundation endlini kagogo, so bese sine game room lebeyisida abantu labazama kwakhe ama funds ekusida labantu labadzala. So then nakufika le COVID, then we were forced ukuthi sivale because kugcwala abantu khona. So ngalezo sikhathi kwabanga lokho ukuthi leti imali labantu labadzala basakhona lokusitakala due to ukuthi imali ayisakhiwa kule foundation. Amen.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. My initiatives were affected. Kune sandana le emuva but
Sanibonani.
Yes.
Mina ngasho nami ukuthi i-COVID-19 ing-affectile because bantu abakithi they are back home from school, my universities avaliwe, lo mnyaka lona basically ukhanselwe. Ne bantwana labancane primary levels yonke nje i-institution yekufundza ivalekile. So then uyadibuta ukuthi ngoba incumbi yetimfo time ngaMarch kuthi nyalo nje siku August kuthi se yini inqhubekela phambili regarding education because siyati ukuthi imfundo imcoka kangakanani, especially kithi la Africa lokhazakala ukuthi vele lwati lethu liqhamuka kakhulu etikolweni. So what now?
Okay. Education affected, and yet we view it as very important in our African continent. Yes, Futi.
Angiphithi nginibingelele. Ke kude info lesilimete emhlabeni njenge corona Nkosi yami. I-corona isilimete kakhulu. Lokungikhuluma nyala sinamisebenzi. Sihlete emakhaya, kuthi imisebenzi bobhuti bethu nabosisi bethu bahleta imisebenzi. Kuthe ke sekuphela imisebenzi ke sasithi sengathi sengithi siyahlanganisa sesifuna ukuqala ibhizinisi nathi ekhaya. Sengikhulumela nje umndeni wami. Sesithi phela sifuna ukuthengisa nakwekunatha. Hawu. Wakhanzaka ukuthi uhulumende nalokwekunatha soyakuvala. Solo nje sikhuluma vele iCovid solo isatochubeka isilimate bekunene.
Sanivusela malangeni.
Yes.
Oh, i-COVID-19 is affectile singumhlaba wonke. Silive ephinzele eMaswati. Kwekuqala nje umhlaba umnotho uwile nge-COVID-19. Kwesibili silivele eMaswati kunema companies nema factories lamile ngenzaba ye-COVID-19. Sikhulumele insha ke yakangwane like bamva besikolo nje ke. Bamva besikolo labasha bayekele kuya esikolweni bahlala emakhaya. Kwaye sekuba netimvo labatendako letimbi. Bangenela kubamba bambe emigwaqweni bugebengu bagwaza abantu ba rape abantu nawungabuka ema cases rape kulamalanga amanendi kakhulu nawubuka tinombolo tiyachaza ukuthi bamvu labasha laba bamba bamvu lokunye futhi kudlange kwekuthi batali bethu njengoba ngithi imisebenzi iphelele bahlele emakhaya ba abuse abatali bethu physically bayabashaya ukwazi ukuthi lo munye sowubulewe ema cases ekubulawa kwebamvu sanzile kakhulu kulamalanga uve nje ukuthi hey eSouth Africa sekublow umuntu kune case nje leyendeka ukuthi intombatane bambulala 7 June bambulala wamkhunga esihlahleni lo muntu lomduna a pregnant lawo kubhlungu kakhulu umhlaba kulimede vele sofa nje ema cases lanzile kakhulu ngilo ekubulala bamvu kubhlungu. Siyabonga.
Siyabonga. Ngicela kuthatha le tekuthu tekugcina sizoqhubekana kulele landzelako question.
Siyabonga. Indaba ye-COVID vele imatima kakhulu. Sesikhulumile ukuthi emnotho iwile kwabanjani. Mina ke ngibone ukuthi nasindlula kule COVID-19 tabe kunetinswane letiningi kakhulu la emhlabeni. Because i-youth leningi nyalo ihleli iconic access ema-contraceptives, iconic access ema-condoms, iconic tonke letinsita betikhona ka-accesseka kalula. Nyalo kulukhuna bakhona ukuthi accessa because kuya edolobheni batala nabo basavumi kalula nje umuntu angamane aye edolobheni sizathu sale COVID-19. So kuswelakala ke fanele kuswelakala kwema-sanitary pads. Even that demand, the one who was but to market in but young the government never support so the demand never can move. The support who be a so we could have told Simon is Matima for the car. So the one man can believe that who can get a better car or the some give the science the town in the middle of the Maka Semana another one so if they are about 2 hours to move around, so the COVID-19 does before the thing of food. The business kids are in a crime. If I never say about going to the following, babe sebangena kuma drugs bathenga sathi insango kunjani because babonile labanye baphila banemali bahamba ngetimoto siyahawukela ke thina abantu labasha. So the moment sibona bonza ngathi bahamba ngetimoto sonke singawungena kule ndvo the crime sende kudayisa insango and stuff like that. So i-COVID-19 is affectile kakhulu sibantu labasha futhi uma ngabe singakaboni thine singakavuli ingqondo njengoba sisho ukuthi we are the future. We are part of the solutions and live lethu lifuna livakala. Uma thine singakakuthathi lokho sakuletha kithi angeke vele litakufa. Kufuna sithi realize thina sibantu labasha ukuthi we can make a change. Kulo mhlaba lesiphila kuwo. Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Putu. Raise that my issues the teenage pregnancy that will rise up because of lack of access to my SRH services. Let's cut the lockdown nalama increase in crime. Okay, okay, ndakuba wegcina ngoba bese ngithi ngigcina ngasisi ngoba sewuthethe point. Let's move on. Khuluma ba.
Sebakushido konke ukuthi i-COVID iba affecte kuphi nakuphi. Ngicabanga ukuthi bakukhohliwe ukuthi i-COVID-19 is affecte kakhulu ngokuthi yanzisa kufa lokunenge eveni. Sishonelwa abatali befu, shonelwa tihlobo tefu ngenxa yayo i-COVID-19.
Siyabonga bhodi. Kushona abatihlobo tethu kushona abatali sisale ebaleni. Okay? Now, let's move to the following question. Sesikuvile lokhu, sivile lama positives, sivile nalama negatives, later nale COVID-19. How then do we recover from that? Njengebantu labasha laba part of the solution. We are not part of the problem, we are part of the solution. How do we recover from lama negative effects? And how do we maximize the positives? Or how do we seize the opportunities? Let's go COVID-19. Toy. Sengifuna kutikhethe. Naso sandla, ubaba mngadi. Naso sandla kusisi lapho. How do we recover from this?
How do we recover better?
Better.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngiphendule nje ukuthi singa recover njani kunaba laba khuluma ngemnotho losowile. Ukuthi thina labasha singenta kanjani ke kulesimo lesingoba angesisakhona kusigucula. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngamunye umlomsha kabuke eceleni kwakhe. Kuthi yini la ngakwenda kuze kumphakamise than ukuthi maybe utawuhamba yothengisa ama drugs noma ke afune noma kwenda noma leyo business ivelele seyitawu bese incenye semfakele ama fingerprints noma seyimenda njani. Ngiyabhekisa lokusebenzisa lo lokukhona nje emakhaya letintfo dakade either uyalima uyathunga yabo lo takusebentela khona lapho bathi kukwendele ukuthi ungasweli kakhulu uze ube exposed lapho ungeke uze ungene khona. Ngicabanga ukuthi asehlukane nevila.
Uthi sisibuke nikhona lana ukuthi yini le lesinayo. Sicale sisebenzise kona. There's a hand here nalapha ngemuva. Ngicela bodi then ukuthi
Asinibingelele futhi. Ngicabanga ukuthi lokunye lokungasita kule aspect yaka education. Indlela lenye lebengasita ku recover better ngule ndlela ngiyavakala. Ngicabanga ukuthi beyikahle le ndlela ya hulumende online education, online learning. But inkinga lekhona lapho ukuthi labantwana abasibo bonke laba khonako kungena kule online education. So bengicabanga ukuthi ifulmende angaba nendlela yokuthi angathi bekangayinda njani idatha yokuthi bonke labantwana at least bakhone ukufunda basemakhaya. Because lokufundisa njengoba bafundisa njenganyalo lokuthi kutaya bo form 5 na form 1 ngicabanga akusi solution because leli gciwane lanza kakhulu.
Okay, ngicela babe mngadi. Ngitakuta ke ngiyatibona Tandla, but she had her hand up first, yes, at the same time lapho.
Ngiyabonga. Mina ngicabanga ukuthi lokunye lokungasita youth kuthi nangabe endzaweni kunemuntu lomatiko lo wenda ibusiness, especially ibusiness maybe lesemangasemakhoneni nabo nje ukhule bantfu ubachina. Hamba emntwini lokwati kwenda isalon uyombuta ukuthi yini longacala kukwenda lokungadzingi icapital, because most of bantu labasha bamoswa icapital ukuthi utayicala kanjani lebhizinisi ude le mali, but kunetimvo longaticala without much capital. Kuthi ufuna umuntu longakumentorisha kuleyo program longafisa kuyenda uhambe kuyobuta ukuthi how can you do a business and how can you sustain it. Ngoba ngalesinye isikhathi nale lack of knowledge ngiyo lele senda ukuthi uyicale info but endleleni ukhanze uyekele. Nangabe ingathi uyayithanza sinenhlanhla thinela kangwane sihlale emakhaya lokhanza athane emasimu. Hamba emntwini lonensimu loyibonako ukuthi ita kahle. Umbute ukuthi uthengaphi wenda kanjani and then nawe bese uyangena kuleyo business. Sisila ngimuve akhuluma nange internet. Nyalo sekwakhiwa imali through my YouTube channels. You can do a YouTube channel, umakethe Swaziland, highlight buhle ba Swaziland, expose Swaziland. Kubantu maybe labahlala outside the country. You can do that. Nangabe khaya unenhlanhla kunabo Wi-Fi. Use lo khona lamacelen akho. You don't need ukuthi wente lokunengi. Use nangabe khaya nje kune Wi-Fi. Take advantage of le Wi-Fi and open a YouTube channel. Makhaya kune mahoko etinkuku ahleli. Cela ekhaya maybe kubatali bakho na unebatali ukuthi ucela noma bakwendise tinkuku and sell, because at the end of the day agriculture inemali. So ingcumbe abantu sifundzile agriculture nasesikolweni. You can do it, possible. Ngiyalolo sekhona lokho kuvalwe ema border kumakethwa timpahla via online. Either temabhele from Maputo, timpahla tegcoka from Bojozi eDurban. Kwakho nje uyangena kule group umakethele tona impahla la ku status profile sakho. Uyathola ama-custom yawa-ordela yaba-supply. Kunengi lele singakwenda business wise without ukuthi ungathi ufuna capital enkulu from where.
Okay, so this is giving us alternative solutions to our problems. Okay, there was a burning issue that your hand was burning after he was raising a point. Can you please?
Ngicabanga ukuthi kwecala we need to we need to stop running away from the police and the government and start running away from coronavirus. Because the issue here to sifaka lama mask, not because we are afraid of the virus, but to send the mapoisa which is very important. We can get ourselves into the business world and use our strategies and ideas that let's not come up with. But already the virus can kill you even when you're business. You need to start think about your health, which means gonke lalabati asikwende nalalabati asigudle to avoid serious on that. Singakhona ukuthi sitakale in terms of kulinciphisa. Amen.
Thank you, Budi. It's talking about taking responsibility in protecting ourselves from the virus, not doing it for anybody else but yourself. Yebo?
Sanibonani. Yes, mina ngicabanga ukuthi government uma angasita ngeku-increase ama-mobile clinics, because bantu labanengi sebaya defaulta ku medication, especially
cela kumuva kangcono sisi. Ngongcheckele imic baba simelana.
Oh, bengithi nekuthi abantu labadzala sebaya defaulta ku medication yabo. Nalokuthi vele lethi i-pregnancy it increase because vele abantu abasakhona ukuthola ama-contraceptives and kebane nale increase ema-STDs cause kude ama-condoms. So I think government nangasita increase ama-mobile clinics afikele etindzaweni lekubantu.
Okay.
Lokunye lesingakwenza as communities, we can try to get MRP educators lata ungena door to door and try to educate the people labale kuma rural areas, because lemakhaya nje bathi ukuthi COVID isedolobheni abacabanga ukuthi semakhaya. Emakhaya nje especially mina ngibuye emakhaya esipofaneni abafaki ngisho mask bangena etitolo banje leti ima general dealers la lemakhaya, and nasingatfola labantu labangangabo labantu abafundisa ukuthi you know what, COVID is real, COVID kills. Because labantu labale emakhaya bahleti nje bathi nalokuthi le COVID kwendekani kubhizi ngani, bathi nje ukuthi le COVID-19 esihlalise ekhaya bathi nokuthi kwendekani, bahleti nje emakhaya bavuka nje bathi sinsana benda lokho abathi gezi ngisho tandla. So vele shem, if we can try to get labantu labangangena from door to door to help them out, try to educate them, because the lack of information, it speeds up the spreading of COVID-19 emakhaya. Thank you.
We need the risk communication to reach our people at home. But what would okay, there's a hand here, there's a hand there. And then I'll end with this too. Yes.
Kunaba laba lahlekelwe ngumsebenzi nabana bakhe lokhanzo sibaqedze form 5 but bangakhoni ukuphumelela.
kuya e-tertiary. Ngicabanga ukuthi uhulumende ngangazama ku-provide more vocational training institutions whereby batokhona kufundzela emakhono ekuthi baba-connectise abantu ababebhizi something than kuhlala ekhaya.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, and then Mike sengafika ngicela kuqhubeka nawe bhuti seyifikile.
Ngithi angisukume ngilokhona kushumayela kahle. Bekunene. Siyacela ukuthi konke ningakufucele kuhulumende. Lo hulumende bese naye akasathi semela thina. Nihlulwa nje kwenta into lelula. Lithi iBhayibheli saphiliswa. Kumele ngabe niyathanda ngiyabahamba abantu basesiphofaneni bakholwa manje. Nithandaze nikhonde uNkulunkulu. Cause kude lokuhlula uNkulunkulu nibhizi konke. Hulumende ngicela nisite la. Nikhohle ukuthi ukhona uNkulunkulu. Niyaphila noma niphila ngalo hulumende nini? Aniphili ngalo hulumende lisho iqiniso lisho njalo. Thandazelani lo hulumende abe neplan. Ngeke abe neplan ukuthi nikhulume nini la wonke lamanye niyahlangana niyakhuluma kepha kuthandazwa. Ngiloko nje malangeni mina solution yami le ngileyo nje kude le ngase ngiyaniyenga. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga. Yekelani kuqalisa hulumende. Nani nithatha responsibility.
Okay, ngiyabonga Nkosi. Okay, lokunye shem ngiyamseconda sizilapha. Ukhuluma ngokuthi kudzingeka peer educators. Vele etindzaweni letisemakhaya. Bamvu they are not well educated Nkosi yami. Uyathi ngikhuluma na uthi uyahamba uhlangana nomuntu uyamtshela ukuthi wena imask uthi wena nginganapukela mina. Uma ngale hawu ke mama kwenda njani sithi ngakufundziswa lemakhaya kuphuma peer educators khambe kuyofundiswa. Kubuye kuma issue yebambu labadzala Nkosi yami. Bamvu labadzala emakhaya cause nasibuka tinombolo tebamvu labafako njena ngilabamvu labadzala lababulawa i-COVID-19 besicela nathi thine bamvu lesihlala nabo labasha sibe nalo lolwathi lokukhona kunaka labantu labadzala ngetindlela ukuthi singena njani lo muntu lomdzala osekhaya lasahledi angavikeleka kanjani kule COVID-19. Kubuya kukhulumela bamva besikolo ku-education Nkosi yami kulukhuni vele ngoba lana kuthiwa abamfana abafunze online ngiya-understand but kunanaba abamfana labangadi nje lokuchafada licingo noma leyo computer lo muntu ukhanda ukuthi lo munye ufunza form 5 akakwadi nje kuchafada icomputer but uthi akafunze online uyathi bengicela ngathi ukuthi kungendeka kanjani nebakithi noma sibatali sithengise wona lamaveji umuntu ukuthengwa emaredo noma kube nenzawo ngoba ngathi government soyavumela ukuthi sibe inombolo lethide kwadiwe ukuthi okay ngalesithafu besicela baka form 5 noma standard 5 noma leyo grade 2 babe ngi50 njengaloku sihlangane nje kube nelanga labo lekufunza bafundziswe emphakathini noma kulelo hola ngoba labanye vele abakhoni kuba nema-radio abakhoni kuba netincingo abakhoni kuba nawo ma-computer vele besicela ngosami ukuthi kwenteke kanjalo. Amen.
Thank you. She's talking about alternatives to education. The fact that not all have access to internet or online. Let's try and use our existing structures like the constituencies to have people educated there, every group or every class. Yes,
I think it would be more over of what he has just said. He has just touched some of the things I wanted to talk about. There is an issue. There is one thing that I want to raise here. The people, like the government, should embrace because we are now moving to the digital world, and everyone, not only the government, we need to come up with new ideas. Just understand or which opportunities can we grab on this digital platform we are going in right now, digital world. So kubalulekile to each and every one of us ubuka ukuthi kwenzakalani and what is going to happen, what next then. Let us come up with new things that can cater everyone, that can help the whole world, that can help even alofunza esikolweni. I think something new, or as akhona kuyisebenzisa, or as the government should try ukuthi asifundzise or about those digital things lesingasebenzisa or media or whatsoever that can trying to bring, but nje ngifuna kusho ukuthi we are now going to another level. Ngeke kusafana nakuqala. So ngiloko lengushoko.
Thank you so much. Uthi manje but let's embrace the new normal, which is the digital world that we are moving to, and let's try and put structures in place that will help us use that in our different communities and services. It's okay.
Sanibonani kwesibili. Sanibonani kwesibili.
Yes.
Nathi mina ngiyacela manje i-government isite ngento yini. Isibukele lama prices latitolo because the prices are getting high. For example, kunabo mechanic. Ema price letinto betitsengwa kusetele lockdown. Nyalo a triple, not even double, triple. So lona lo lemakhaya lofuna kufunza nje lelikhona ukusahlalela cengwa lo mechanic akho. So kulukhuni kusibathathe uthathe umuntu babathathe labo bani labo. Why? Utampatala ngani ngoba phela sekude imali esesiyibenefit. So i-government ase isibukele ngama prices latitolo. Not even the government emhlabuhlangeni. It's too much.
Okay. She is asking government to look into consumer rights in terms of the price increases in the shops that is happening, making it difficult for people to access or to buy in order to be self-sufficient. Thank you.
Yes, siyabonga. Mina ngidawukhuluma ngibuyele ngicile kakhulu kule kithi sine insha. Kuthi i-COVID-19 singakhona kuphila nayo, singakhona kuphila ikhona. But siphile impilo lengcono. But lokufuna sikwende kunye sibantu abasha. Asisiqale thina sitifundise kulandzela imithetho lebekiwe ye-COVID-19 because thina abantu labasha ngathi sanela kuva ngathi kufa ifa labogogo nabomkhulu. Sa relaxa kanti nyalo kufa thina embamba. Futhi sitawufa siphele if singakade ibone ukuthi ngithi lokufuna sendele ishintsho. I think Lagangwane sent close to 70% of population. Siban labasha. So if thina singakuthatha lento siyilethe kithi emandleni ethu ukuthi sifuna kubona lishintsho. Sifuna kwenta lishintsho. Ngicabanga ukuthi lama challenges esikhuluma ngawo siyekele nana tendency yokupusha iblame. Ase sikuthatha sikulethela kithi. In as much as government akhona angasisida, but nathi asisiyekele bese simthwalisa kakhulu. Sicabangani thine ngetimpilo tethu because ngithi lesila on the ground lesivako le pain nale pinch na government umnotho uyile siyakwati lo but nangabe solo konke sikuphushela kwe government this government that kusithwalisa kumthwalisa kakhulu asesikiletheni la kithi sithi thina yini lesingayenta kulekelela government kuletha lishintsho kube ngikhona sithe nalama solutions done in fact like siyeke lokuphe kupusha blame to government. She come with new ideas. She come with solutions. Then sitamsola ke government. If solutions they sit na otsine angakawasebenzisa. Ngicabanga ukuthi sibani labasha uma singayibamba lapho we can make a change. Siyabonga.
Sipudi, as young people, let's take the responsibility. Let's take precautionary measures and protecting ourselves, as well as bringing solutions, helping government with providing solutions that are needed. Then only can we then, if our solutions are not taken into consideration or our suggestions, then only can we then complain and blame someone else. But let's take responsibility. Thank you, Bod.
Thank you very much. I like what he said. He said, let us stop shifting the blame because nami ngimumflomusha I mean ngiyati ukuthi ukhuluma ngani ngiyati lokuthi sisira sembinjini siva ngathi government is supposed to be our savior. Gani, that's not the case. You are the you as umumflomusha you know exactly what you're going through and you know exactly ukuthi utokhishwa yini lapho khona khona. You know exactly ukuthi nangisuka ekhaya ngithi ngide imali yebhasi kumele ngente njani ngicele imali yebhasi. I like what he said when he said let us not shift the blame. You are the one who is facing this challenge, you know exactly what you need in order to get out of that situation. You have the resources. Inkinga yethu sibamfulabasha, I'm sorry to attack you. Siyavilapha. I am going to be brutal and blunt with each and every one of you right now. You as young people, nifuna kuba spoon-fed. How many of you just go onto the internet and search for opportunities? Zero, because in Katawakutini, but on letela kuma doorsteps enu. Ushido umlomusha kwakuthi, stop shifting the blame. Nami ngiyamsekela ekutheni, stop shifting the blame. You have all the resources. Akudingeki imali kuphela. You have your 5 megabytes, but in khetha ini, kuhamba nyobody shame abamfulena kuma social media. Instead of surfing for opportunities. In for COVID-19 government, this, and that. Leave the government out of this. It starts with you, it starts within. When I'm glad you are here. Instead of going out there and educating the next person, without information, let us lift each other up. Ministry of Health in agahambe athathe tibhedlela mobile hospitals awalethekile. Njani ningawasebenzisi? How many of you go to ema clinics and figure nithi sifuna kwathi ngema SRHR services? Less than the 75% of population yala kangwane silisibamfula banje. So I'm just going to stop there and use the opportunities you have and stop shifting the blame and seconding on what he said. Nyabong.
Thank you very much. Young people, stop shifting the blame. Search for opportunities and seize them. No blaming, but find the opportunities, they are there. Let's use them and be part of the solution. Who are we? Who are we? What are we part of? What's important? Thank you very much. UN in 2045 will be celebrating 100 years, and I want you to vision or think about what you think would be happening then. Do you think we'll be Swaziland or Eswatini, sorry? And us as the young people there, do you think we'll be better off? Do you think we'll be worse off? Do you think we'll just be the same as now? And you give me an explanation why you say so. In 2045, how do you see Eswatini unfolding? Will it be a better off country? Or will we be better off? Will we be worse off? Or as a country, will we be worse off? Or Stabasfan will be the same? It's not a trick question.
Maybe we can see by a show of hands, those that think that we will be better off, the optimists.
What better off? We do have some optimists.
This is good.
Worse off? The worse off? Who think we'll be worse off? Okay, there are about 2. Who think will remain the same? You, the pessimist.
For either.
Okay.
Come on, guys, let's engage. Let's participate.
Some are not part of the solution.
Hey, I don't think they want to be part of the solution. For those that said better off, let's hear them. There's a hand here, Baba Smelan. Oh, yes, oh, Baba
I think stabesiklenye level because COVID-19 is kombisile ukuthi yabo mesitela phe emakhaya. We need so many things. There are so many basic needs that we need. But as sakhona ukwa access, why? Because as ka 7 day mover, we haven't prepared ourselves with besingathi next COVID tofika. But we haven't prepared ourselves with maybe toba ne corona mhlambe ngasilungiselela. Another thing ukuthi okay, since it's shift sesiyabona ukuthi nyalo sekuyacaca ukuthi yabo okay how you attacking the world out there, what are you thinking of yourself ukuthi mina ngidabe ngikuphi, because this thing iqala ngokuthi wena uwedwana ufuna kuya kuphi, not we as young people but you uhlele ekhaya kini uthi ngovale emehlo before you sleep and look at yourself ukuthi udabukuphi kule minyaka letako. So ngibona ukuthi sidabe si on the next level. Since we have a gathering like this one, first of all, it's an appreciation good is gathering lekanje, just to hear good, okay, just to hear good is fun and no good yes kombisa good. We want the world to change. If tina sila singa good I want to change. We want to change as sila good doctor my communities les pumagona. So I started in citizens funakshinja ngamundu ngamunye. And another thing, we gather the ideas, get someone to motivate, more motivated. There's something I like about motivating, maybe nothing I used to motivating. The more you motivate the next person, it's like you motivate Elabaneng. The gift now, there's something within him or her, let them need energy, them need courage. If let me say you am to cherish a scholar. Then there will be that thing let me work if there's no one, so let us help each other so that we can come with new things, new ideas. Embraced.
COVID-19 has given us a wake-up call. We need to shift our thinking and shift how we do things. We need to see ourselves as part of the solution and start thinking towards that. It has shown us that you can't remain the same. You will not survive if you remain the same, but we must start shifting and at the same time uplifting one another and not watching somebody fall, but helping them up as we move on. Yes.
Kubuka kwami sidaba esikhashane kakhulu vele. Sidaba sekulelinye lezinga. Ikakhulu njengoba phela nengwenyama ikhuluma ngathi yakhuluma nga2022. So now uthi was over ngwadi uthi ukhuluma ngani. Ngoba 2022 siyamlanza kule minyaka lemibili letako. And ke lokho kusho ukuthi sidaba esile. Lokwa COVID-19 kutabe sekusethe incwadi into history. Sitawufundisa abantu abethu ngako ukuthi thina sake saphila esikhathini secorona. Sidabe sesingasacoci nangako sikutawugcina sekungumlando. So njengoba asho umnethu lokho ukuthi kucala ngathi, we thank the opportunity yokuthi bantu labasha can be gathered kanje bafundise. It means kuze kuchubeke naloko ukuthi sitoba better off umsebenzi wabo UN bo iNYC kutawumela uchubeke la kuthenini usende ethi nevele sibe ngile micibisholo kokuthi once thina sathi discover nyalo sitawukhona ukuthi le generation letako bese sesiyayigucula kokuthini vele kube Eswatini kangwane kube kuseba ubunanzini. Amen.
He envisages that we will be at another level in 2045, and given the King's vision of 2022, he thinks Corona will be history and we'll be in a better position. Yes. Oh, sorry, Baba Mkati.
Yes, my sister. Mina ngicabanga ukuthi sidabe sikhashane kakhulu ngesizathu sokuthi kule mpilo lesesiphila kiyo nyalo kunebamfula abacabangisa kwami. Bamfula abacabangisa kwami ke bamfula abacabanga i-practical not i-theory, because way back bebacabanga nge-theory ukuthi umuntu fanele endeni but bakubhizi bakuhlela kule theory. Nyalo sekunebamfula abacabangisa kwami labathi nyalo kufanele sipracticalize le theory lebekade bayisho lengemuva. Nyalo ke kushothi vele ezisichubeka le practical itaba inyenti kakhulu kwendlula lama theories. Shothi vele siyahamba siyaphambili.
Okay. But it will be better off in 2045 because now we'll be thinking practically and getting into action what in the past have learned as theory. We'll be more practical in doing things as opposed to just getting theory and sitting on it. Yes, sis.
Madam, ngicabanga ukuthi sidabe sikhashane kakhulu nangabe nyalo kulokuhlangana kwethu nje kulesikhashana lesi sesibrainstormile le mindset yethu ngathini iyaqala iyachacheka lokusho ukuthi nyalo sesiya understand ukuthi okay like angibekise David ebengumuntu lomusha but akamgegeledelanga lesichaka wasebenzisa amandla akhe strategy wahamba wabutha litshe wabuya walifaka wamshaya nathi COVID-19 ngeke sisigegeletele sibantu labasha ngoba sesibone ukuthi usichwaga empilweni yethu so nyalo sitawugeyina emandla sisebende njengaloku bakhuluma bomnayithi ukuthi asisebenzise lokho lesinako sifaceane nawo mina ngibona ngathi COVID-19 utawusenda siphakame kakhulu ngongithi ngathi yena bekathi asibulala but lots of opportunities.
Okay, COVID-19 came in the form of Goliath in our lives as this giant, but we will not go around, but we'll be strategic in attacking or dealing with COVID-19 because of now we understand what we are dealing with and we are looking into solutions that will help us get through this phase. Yes, Sisi, and then put at the back before I move on to the west.
Ngithi mina Bonkosi Malangeni ngiyabonga 2045 stabe sikulenye level lokhu sikule level lelo kusho ukuthi ama levels akhona la mile sitawangena but la 2045 itabe seyisetulu kakhulu lengikwati konje nyalo ngicabanga ukuthi lokhu sila nasiphumako sitawuphuma kubomgosi without borders khulume ngebantu asokhulume ngelife what is happening outside khuluma COVID-19 uyekele ukukhuluma ngebantu labami lokukhuluma ngabo ilife bayiphusha lengaphandle singanaki tindzaba debamba sesinake naki lokumcoka lokufuna ukuthi sakhe ngako impilo ngiyamsekela sisilama lapha kulakshito we are too lazy sivila pha ngisho ukuthatha sitafulo sakho la ngaphandle lina litulu kusingenisa ngekhathi endlini wake up guys asisukume nisendele umsebenzi lofanele ngiyabonga
2045 will be at a better level and we will change. We'll stop being lazy as young people and we'll seize opportunities, not focusing on what is not important, like talking about people, but focusing on opportunities and what we can do. Njengebantu labasha.
Ngicabanga lokunye lokungasida ukuthi si improve kakhulu ukuthi sibantu labasha nasinga understanda igoal lefuna kushaywa nguhulumende ukuthi nje uhulumende ufiseni enithini umsebenzi wethu bese kuba kusebenza silekelele yena because ezisimlekelela nathi siya benefit uhulumende ezinjenayo lama goals noma lama targets akhe awashaya a benefitisa lesive so nathi sisive siya benefit because into lenye lesilimataka ukuthi uhulumende kulama targets akhe lathi ufuna kwashaya thina ngalana sibuka ukuthi si unemployed then siqala siyoyibela uhulumende so ezena kumele ngabe yenyuka ugcina sanaka letinto lestabile etsini so lempilo ke lapho igcina seyide iway forward so ngicabanga nje ukuthi nasika understand ukuthi uhulumende etinye tinto utendelani then thina simsupport for instance nje na ungabuyisa na ungabekisa njengana ngomgwaqo le highway from Manzini to Stake ukanza ukuthi uhulumende ufake fence la mgaqweni upreventa tinkomo ukuthi tingangena emgaqweni but thina abantu lesifike esikweni sifike sebelo fence yabo so esenda lokho siyamdelaya ke lo hulumende kulama goals lapha kwasha because naye unesikhathi ene une target ukuthi by this time kudinga lokhu ngibe sengikwendile.
Okay, thank you very much. Uthi Bhuti manje, let's support government efforts towards development instead of working against them, understanding what they have planned and what the future looks like, instead of working against them and reversing the gains through vandalism and other actions that might inhibit development.
In 2045, I think it's better since I feel like everybody kule corona ushinje mindset yakhe cabang. And ke lokuye lengicabanga ukuthi kungasida ukuthi sibe better ku 2045. It's just a point. I don't know noma liwise kakhulu. It's just a point lengicabanga ku raise. I feel like singashintsha isystem le eksebenda like si increase the rate of employment, and we increase the rate of employment. I feel like government anga decrease the retirement age, like we change retirement age from 60 maybe to 55. In that way utawuphuma labantu labadzala letulu kungene youth, and we believe good youth is more effective and powerful, especially when it comes to making ideas. So naga decrease the retirement age government. In that way sitawukhona kungena emisebentini si broadcast views ethu, because nyalo kungendeke views baningi abantu abanema views but I problem bahleti emakhaya abasebenzi.
Ngiyabonga, ngicela kuba ne follow up question babe mngade ngivumelani nje kulo. Wena njengemvulo omusha.
Yes.
How do you see, how would you also increase the opportunities, employment opportunities? I know that you talked about government.
Yes.
Would you let government increase employment opportunities by ensuring early retirement instead of the retirement age being 60, so that young people can come into the system, and then because they are powerful, they've used their innovation, they can bring solutions. But now I want to shift it from government to you as a young people. How can you increase the employment rate as a young person?
Okay,
as a part of the solution.
Thina bantu labasha sisesenemandla and ngicabanga kwethu vele kusese effective. I feel like go increase the employment is ukuthi sibe engaged kule business industry. In that way the employment yethu ita increase, because it's not ukuthi kufuna ukuthi uze uyosebenta umlungu uze ube ne-income. I-income generated wena, that's why bathi imali ila enhloko. Akufuneka ukuthi uze kamlungu yonconco ukuthi ufuna umsebenzi. Asiye ngale ka business industry. Si create ama business, sinema business ideas incumbi. Asingayi ngecapital. Bhala i-business plan, bhala i-proposal yakho, hamba proposal kulabo labata assist. Maningi ma sponsors la ngaphandle. Maybe batayithanda business idea yakho bakusponsorish. I think that way staba na income your lifetime.
Okay, he thinks as a young people we can also be part of those that increase the employment rate by owning businesses ourselves or being entrepreneurs that can employ people, writing business plan, submitting those plans and seeing them to fruition. Empathy skhatsi sam, the positives are a lot. What should I do? Please advise. Okay, Sisi, can you continue? And then that one, and then the two. I'll put it that I'll put my life in the line.
Mina ngicela kusho ukuthi if we want to see a better future, we should be the change we want to see as young people. So lengakusho ukuthi if we want to see a better future, I think we need to also tackle indaba corruption vele, because I think ibambelela kakhulu emave and economically vele iyalimata. So I think young people, if singasebenzisana, because we need you as well ukuthi nisihlangabete in a way, kungabe ukuthi nani seningenela kule corruption, sezama khokha nani kule corruption and everything. So in order for us nathi sitawukhona kunisita youth council mhlabhlangene, you as well need to take the stand and help defeat corruption and fight corruption in the country.
Okay, thank you very much. Young people, be part of the solution and fight corruption. Help the youth structures to help you, help the UN to help you, help the government to help you by being a part and parcel of the solution and not the problem.
Well, mina kuncane nje ngifuna kusho ukuthi mina ngivungaza ukuthi vele sesivele sithuthukile. Lokuthi sibone nje ukuthi kufuna ngensimini, kufuna ngivule YouTube channel, kufuna ngende in kwaloko kukhula. So ngithi nje asibambeni siphushe khona lapho nathi sisekelane. If ngithi ngongiside ukuthi ngivule YouTube channel yangitshela wena njani, nangicela sisi lapho engadeni yakho wena lokubambisana nje sibumbane sibambula abasha yabona. Ngivungaza ukuthi nako lokutasipusha nalokuqala nangabe khona lokuqala lokubonako sitshele bika na ungathuli ubona konakala sisebasha ngithi lento lesingayinqoba nako nje kuphela.
As young people, or being in such a forum has already empowered us because we can now see what things we can do as individuals. It can be farming, it can be businesses, it can be so on and so forth. But we are here, it's a start, and let's help each other rise up and develop. Yeba besimelana. Bekunginaba abantu bami lababili so unike nangulam akaqhubeka lamasifile esitaba sesigcina nalama gentlemen utangibula laba bemgadi.
Meaning Lakteni, how can we increase the rate of unemployment Eswatini? Well, you guys are raising very good points on skills development. And we encourage Labasha to continue with the vocational skills education because ilakteni lama vocational skills education labo plumber bephu lama electricians bephu balimisi bephu they also doing something for themselves. Ngibo labatosqasha ngibo labo labati one day they're going to open organizations and companies and all that. Aswathathe seriously sihambe sibagcugcudele nebatali bephu emakhaya ekutheni mina nangithi ngifuna kuba ngumagesana angisho ukuthi angati esikolweni ukuthi kuhamba njani. I know very well what I want. Maybe one day ngidovula a company ledokuqasha khona labanye bamfu. So it's wise that we sikshayele sandla kwenda vocational skills education. See, but encourage abanye bamfu phinza singababukeli phansi lo muntu lothi yena uyiplumber per se, because that's the very same person who's going to hire you, who's going to nciphisa emathuba nciphisa unemployment Eswatini. And off topic, there's this live stream that this thing is being streamed live, and I'd request each and every one of you to share it with your friends and my contacts so that they also take part in those conversations. But my comments are under the comment box section, and you've been given a Wi-Fi password. So take that and just share with your friends. You're not going to lose anything. So please kindly do that.
Thank you. Can I take one last better off?
Siyabonga bekunene sebashito kuhle kakhulu. Mina nangibukako kule minyaka letako impela sidabe sisetulu kakhulu emva kokubona ukuthi usaqhubeka le minyaka ikingdom thine la sesiyakhona ukuthi singanaki le education too much, but sesiyangena practical into business. Lokho kusho ukuthi kuyabonakala ukuthi kusasa ngila ukuthi ngiboleke le-million ungiboleke ungakhali nje ngingakakhulumi. Ngaqala uthinze lenzaba imali wena ngide nje. So kuyabonakala ukuthi sidabe sekulenye level malangeni. Siyabonga.
Okay, it says we are not only relying on education, but practical skills to help us do well in business, and we'll be able to approach funding, financial institutions to request for seed funding for whatever we are starting. Okay, can we move on to the West Off? I'll just take 5 of the West Off, or 4 of them. West Off, there were people that were saying they were West Off, but there were few, yes, there was Sisi here. Who was the other one? West Off, why do you think it will be West Off? You're saying West Off, why? Why do you think things will be a bit West Off? Yes, there's Putin here. Babes Melan. Who else? Who's my next? I need your hands to know which Labe Battery West Off. It's fine, we'll take the two.
Ngasini. Athi mina ngiva ngazothi sidabe esiwese. Ngalendlela sinebantu abasha singafuni ngakhona kuvuka siyosebenza. Yathi nebantu abasha sifuni kuvuka siyosebenza. Have you noticed ukuthi le makhaya le nasingefika nje nyana bantu ngani baphumela ngutsheni. Ngiphi insimlo ongayihlakula nje uma uphuma nyalo ngutsheni. Ngiyanbuda. Good. Sinebantu abasha sifuni kuvuka siyosebenza. What we think of the government will hire me, the government will hire me. On top of that, sinenani labasha. Sigcwele la ngephandle. Nakungathiwa nje kuyavulwa namhla eshwaleni. Na ungefika la. 90% of labantu abakhanza la ngekhathi between the age of 12 and 35. Not even 18, 12 and 35. So sinelabantu labasha angathi ukuthi singenza njani. Angathi ukuthi nifuna kwendwa njani nebantu labasha. Asifuni kuvuka sinesosebenza, asifuni bamba. Sonke. Ngiyabonga bhuti wami.
He thinks it will be worse off in 2045 because of laziness of the young people who do not want to kick off the blanket and go out and work. And then and he says such places like bars and taverns, you now find 12-year-olds to 35, which is the category of young people instead of even 18. We need to change that if the situation has to change. Thank you very much. And yes, Sisi.
Ngiyabonga ngithi nje anginanatele kulo kushiwe ngubhudi lapha. Kuthi thina eMaswati sitele culture yethi what can I be of service to my community. Sifuna kwendelwa most of the time. Kude umuntu longathi ahlanganise nebangani bakhe ngiyabekisa. Asihlanga kuthi ku donate impahla longatigcoki uphiwe laba less fortunate. Sitele culture yekulwela impilo. Sinale employment mentality. Le salary ukuthi ngifuna ukucashwa ngumuntu ngihambe ngemsebentini. Ngiyalo nje ngalesikhathi se-COVID kube sekunyuka kakhulu nale employment. Kwase sekukhathwa kakhulu nale employment bantu babuyele emakhaya. So because sitele culture yekufuna ukutisebenta usilimete kakhulu lengqondo because sonke silwela ngene university. I'm not saying it's wrong uba nema degrees nema masters, but the mentality yethu akusiko kufuna knowledge ukuthi ngifuna kusasa kutisebenta. Kufuna knowledge ukuthi ngifuna kuyocashwa ngidohola kangcono ngedegree yami, ngidohola kangcono ngemasters yami. So kuyasitimata lokho kakhulu. Ngiko ngithi mina ngibona ngathi kutoba worse off singafiki kule ngqondo yeke ukuthi mina ngiyini lengakwenda mina ku create employment, because ku create employment awugcini ngekucasha wena ugcina ngekucasha labanye. Kuthi I vocational training ingaqali ledulu kuma higher grades, iqale kubo form 1 ema high schools laba sesebancane khona as lo muntu ayenda atibonela ukuthi ugood kakhulu ngakubo. Athi nakaya e-college abese kangcono lokuthi what can I do. Nale mentality yekuthi bantu batothini isilimete kakhulu because thina bantu abasha asifuni kumarket because kuba ngiloko bantu batothini. Asifuni kufunza nyalo i-technology iyashintsha. The way we do things nyalo sekuthengwa online. La kangwane nje I'm still yet to find umuntu lo business through online wekuthi you can use i-app yami nithenge impahla nithenge kudla sisesekhashane kakhulu side nabo GPS kuthi na uhamba ungafaka kanjani imoto yakho ikufaka egedeni lemuntu lwangayikito sisesemuva kakhulu. So we need naleyo training like kuma communities because not everyone can afford uya e-college afunze the basic skills e-computer. So we need nala kuma etinkundleni kuthi abantu labafundisako bafundise nje through i-theory ukuthi what can you how can you main i-computer ukuthi ungenda kanjani. So asitele knowledge kahle hle hayi ngoba labanye bangafuni yini but kude le mali wani ukuthi angayi college ayofunzela how to use bo computer or technology. So how can you manipulate i-technology if you don't even have the means ekuyisebenzisa? So naloko sitha sikubuketeni kakhulu ukuthi what can we do really to improve impilo tethu. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, please be aware that we need to be live on the mic because we are live. Make sure that the mic is close to you. Okay, she's bringing an issue of let's change the mindset of always having handouts. Let's change the mindsets of wanting to just go to university and be employed. Let's look at other opportunities and seize them. That will help us bring the economy that we want as a nation. Let's change our mindset. Let's not go to the mainstream that we know, but let's change our knowledge. Can I give it to the last Pagam card? Okay. Can you be the last? Because I'm moving on to the next question. Yes, yes.
Meaning it is about west of because since it's in a CMA, like it's issued that we are the future and we are the solution. Look when they are la Eswatini, ban la batsala leng melang abe spinza kubo abafuni kus involve. nguma decisions la involve athini. Dawukhaza ukuthi le ama-parliament igcwele bantfu labadzala kanti in the next coming years kutabe ngithi thina lesiphethe lapha, how are we going to learn ukuthi kumele sente njani if bona bangafuni kusi-involve. Dawukhanza kunema-issues la involve athine sitawutshela ukuthi indzaba ikagogo bantu labancane ayisabangeni. Ngikhuluma ngento lebesiye kuyo enhlangano siyokhuluma ngendzaba yethu thine youth ukuthi bayasibulala anendi lutho basitshela ukuthi indzaba naseyikagogo asingeni thine siyouth. Sitawu-developa njani ke nakwenteka kanjalo?
She thinks we will be worse off in 2045 because youth are not involved in matters that concern them. In parliament, we have old people and there's no youth represented. And when they raise issues that concern them, like the issues of youth killings, they are told that once the case has been taken further to a higher authority, they cannot intervene in that case. So they would like to be a part and parcel of decisions made, especially on issues that affect them directly. Thank you very much. Can I move to, I'm sorry, you will put in this one that is following. We will put it on as we look at the vision. 2045. What's your vision? Young person sitting in this room. Young person, the future. Young person, the solution. Young person, important
ufuna kube live lelijani noma ngumhlaba lonjani nga 2045 owakho lo idea
lo mbonako wena muntu lomusha futhi lo mhlaba ungawucabangeli lomunye umuntu ucabange wena as part of nayo le solution yawo kunesandla lana baba emgadi.
Ngibona ukuthi okay ngifuna ukuthi kube indzawo la kutaba khona nema opportunities ekusebenta lamaningi because le unemployment ngiyo lesilipha kakhulu ngiyo nje le inkinga kakhulu so nakungaba ngindzawo la kunethuba emsebenzi wonke umuntu atoba busy ngoba lokuhlala lemakhaya ngikho kusena ngase siyahlanya hayi ukuthi asiyahlanya nokuthi side lesingakwenda. Thank you.
A future with employment opportunities, a future that keeps people busy. Be mindful that you will not be young then, eh? At 25 to your age, this is where you will be. What's your vision?
They'll be retired at 55.
Please speak.
Ngicabanga ukuthi
Sonzela bhuti kancane.
Yes. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi leso ngitabe ngisembili kakhulu ngekunaka okay ngekubuka le mindset lesesinayo nyalo njengabantu abasha. Bene ngunaka lo muntu bekanaka ukuthi kuze ukuthi impilo ibe ngcono kufuna kucacashwe but namhlanje inkumbi yabantu labasha sebanawo le change mindset ukuthi
the batteries. Sorry about that.
Yes,
Please silence your phones.
Ngicabanga ukuthi sidaba sikhashane kakhulu based kule ndlela kwendeka ngayo into nyalo nje lengubonile ukuthi iinformation seyakhona kufika enkumbini yebantu njenganyalo nje sekuyakhona ukuthi bantu labasha ema ideas bangawathola melula nangibuka itolo bokhanza ukuthi umuntu lomusha ulwela ukuthi ngifuna ke tertiary nangabe ngingakayi tertiary vele impilo yami sekude sekuthi ngiyosebenza emafamily but nyalo nalaba labatholile lithuba le tertiary akusikuthi bafuna ke tertiary kuphela but bafuna to get capital such that noma sebabuya khona tertiary they come up with a change mindset ukuthi how can they come out with my ideas ukuthi bangakha imali not ukuthi baholelwe kuphela but bafike la khona basebenzisa lokusebenta kwabo kuba iadvantage ukuthi bangasusa emabhizinisi bangicathi kusizabe sembili kakhulu ngaleso sikhathi leso. Yabo.
Okay, his vision is to have tertiary institutions that produce a caliber of people that come up and think of making money and not just being employed only. Yes, sis, and then
Ngiyabonga. Mina mangibuka i-future in the next 45 years, ngibona kutaba umhlaba noma indzawo lapho khona abantu labasha banemathuba labaningi emsebenzi. Lokunye lengikubonako ngibona lokuthi ke tindzaba tema-conflicts emaveni lahlukahlukene titabe setinciphile ngekubuka kwami.
Nakufisa kwakho. Sifuna ukuthi wena ufisa kube njani.
Kulala babemgadi makafiki lapho bekunala nala. Then songangiyela le.
Sanibonani. Ninjani? Niyaphila? Ngisukuma. Sanibonani. Ninjani? Mayingibahle guys. Yi-youth yakangwane lena. Mayikumnanzi la kangwane makuso. Yathi kuhle kangwane makanjena. So mina ngi-invitiwe. But I do want to just say something before you guys keep going with the conversation. It's beautiful, right? So, umhlaba, umile, everything is at a standstill. Do you guys know the size of the molecule that has brought the world to a standstill? Can you guys see that? Le particle yale mvule lesmisile incane kunale mvule ngiceda kuyifutha. Right? And that is what we're dealing with. That is what has brought the world to a standstill. Right? It is a global mess. Tinvo atikhoni kungena eborder. Umhlaba umile wonke. Uyahamba uyensimini uyawulima. Kude lo tawutsenga. Kulkhuni nje, kulkhuni kumovie satinvo nyalo. Okay? So, you young people are not at fault. Okay? Yabon? Ani vilapi, yes, kulkhuni, it's just a mess. Okay? But right now, what is happening is, hulmende ne UN are at the mitigation, trying to figure out how we can then move forward with the problem that we have in hand. Okay? So, that's where I just want to kind of have your mindset. Ne? I guti kona lapo ni haza kona or anyavilapa or anything. That is the problem. The problem is this thing is really small and it's brought the world to a standstill. So that's where your headspace needs to be at right now. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Vision. What's the vision for 2045?
A vision, 2045 for me is that we use the opportunities that we have. But we do have opportunities. The UN literally has university courses online. You understand? They have university courses online. Now, with the support of Hulumende Wedfu, it is okay to say Hulumende. You understand? You have parents who are taxpayers. It is okay to cry Hulumende. It's a global pandemic. It's a problem, okay? But now the question is, how? How do we get the help? How does the help us in such a way that siya figure 1 ku 2045? And si figure sibamvla bangcono ku 2045. That's where your headspace needs to be right now. You can't push the blame. It's not that time. The time now requires us to figure out a solution. And the solution is we will need to kind of be easier on each other, right? Moving forward. Ngiyabonga.
Course.
Vision. Online courses are available. That's what is talked of. Vision before we move on to challenges. Okay.
Asibonge. Mina ivision yami for 2045 wekuthi umhlaba wonke ube so likhambi linye noma umcondvo munye wekukhona kwenta tintfo ngekubona ngeliso linye ngekuthi emave onke singaphila kanjani. Lokunye phindze i-education ibe equal nekuthi sikhone kufundza wonke umuntu abe asakhona kufundza ngabongcondvo mshina tonke nje tintfo saletenteka ngetindlela lesetilinganako njengemhlaba wonke kukhona nekbenefita nebantu labakururali nabakhona labalakbo ema-urban areas. Lokunye ku-healthy kube nendlela yokuthi sikhone kufinyelela emitholampilo wonke umuntu akhone kufinyelela emitholampilo noma ngabe ude imali noma ngabe unayo but wonke umuntu abe equally ku-healthy. Nalokunye sikhone nekuthi singumhlaba wonke silwe nebuphuya. Silwe nebuphuya. Buphuya ke akusiko bungacali kwekuthi bucala kithi. Singabendi futhi ukuthi bucale kithi. Sine akube ngithi lesikhona ukuthi siphume silwe nabo. Kuze sitokhona kufinyelela kwenta tintfo letitsite. Sikhone futhi ku-achieve tintfo letitsite. Size sikhone phindze sikhone kusita labanye labangakhoni kutisita. Ngoba kunebantfu lesinabo la emhlabeni wonke jikelele. Laba disable. Asisho ukuthi mangabe udisable awukhona kwenta tintfo bayakhona kwenta tintfo letitsite but kukhona kuna ukuthi sine sibamvu njengemhlaba noma sibamvu njengebamvu labasha lawo bamvu labo sikhona ukuthi sibasite etintfweni letitsite kuze bafinyelele ekutholeni tintfo letitsite. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, she's saying she sees her vision being technological advancement and access to proper health facilities, as well as being able to overcome poverty. And I'd like to stop there because of our time. We are being timed here. And now we move to the challenges. What challenges could possibly block block what we see as a vision? What could be the possible challenges that could affect this vision that we have? Puti Emuva, and then Mabela, and then 3. That's 4. Please get straight to the point and be short and sweet.
Siyabonga. Ngicabanga ukuthi lokhu ngaba ama challenges lokhu ekuvimba ukuthi 2045 singabe sezingeni lelikahle ukuthi uma u-understanda i-development yakangwane siqala emphakathini siye enkundleni then senyukele ngetulu. But le emphakathini la kungikhona khona kusuka khona lezi zithi development kusehleli okay thina abantu labasha asikho nje total asikho and as involve yethi le ntuthuko le development ifuna isuke le emphakathini yenyuke ke ngetigaba kuze sifike la sithi sitibona sikhona khona fanele kuqale kulungele foundation letimphanzeni timphanze nangabe tingatfonsi lokungiko angicabanga ukuthi nalesihlahla singakhula kahle. If singalungisa le ngaphasi sine bantu labasha sibe involved etintweni letenekako at community level. Ngicabanga ukuthi going forward singaba matima kakhulu. Ngilo nje ngifuna kusho angifuni ngena kakhulu kuyo ngoba hey.
Our structures as a kingdom starts from the constituencies up to the urban setting, which is municipalities. And if we want to see a future or a vision, it would mean involving young people from the constituency level or community level upwards instead of top-down approach. That could be what could be blocking or could be a challenge for achieving our visions. And there's one more person here.
Ngicabanga ukuthi mina into lengasibhlokwa ukuthi mase kunelwadi mina bese ngisafuna ukuliniketa lomunye noma sekuna something in my hand ngikushare nekuthi ngikuthole njani nekuthi ngakusita kanjani abantu abagovuka nje ubathe njo lento wena kube nalo neyadi ngase ichubekele phambili but umuntu ahlale nangalo ukuthi lento ide ngaye akafuni nayo ukuthi explore kusiniketa inkinga lento lethi njengaletho especially mase sihlangene so ukuze kulungiseke kona ngicabanga ukuthi nina njengoba nivamise ukusihlanganisa kanje nathi sitawuzama kuhle sibahlanganisa lela sibuya khona sifundisane ngalokuthi hey emalangeni kunemfihlo la kuphaneni nalokunikana tinho because ugcine vele lento yakho igcina la ugcine khona because iidea yemuntu mayodwa vele ayivami lokuchubekela phambili kakhulu so njoba nathi sichashiwe nje kunemvulo waplana lento siyabonga.
I have 1 minute left. Information sharing is important. It could be a challenge that can block us after receiving information or having learned something. The importance is sharing it with another person so that she can be helped, he or she can be helped as well and use that information. Yes, good.
Lengicabanga ukuthi okunye kuyasibulala ngilokwe kwekuthi siba mfula basha asikhona ukuthi siticabangele tinvo. Ngidawubekisa ukuthi nangabe utawubona baba kamakhelwane aphumelela ngebhizinisi yetinkukhu nawe ucabanga kwenta ibhizinisi yetinkukhu instead yokuthi wena ngawucabanga kwenta kudla kwale tinkukhu wendele ukuthi utothengisela yena nawe utaba nemali shothi kahle kahle thina sehlulwa ukusebenzisa creativity lesinayo.
Okay, lack of creativity could be a challenge. Instead of doing a same business as your neighbors, find your niche and grab that opportunity and run with it. One last one, because I have to move to the last question. I have literally 2 minutes when he kills me.
Lawanye ama challenges leswafisa kusibamfula basha ngulenkinga yokuthi asikwati kufuna resources, asikwati kumobilize for resources. Asikwati ukuthi sizophuma sinconcothe kuphi, asati ukuthi ngithi nangifika nconcotha ngifike nconcotha kubani. Kani nangaba nalama platforms ukuthi sifundisane nje sibamfula basha nabu yathi wena ukuthi youth fund iphumile ifunding applywa kanjani. Fundisa nalo lomunye phela ukuze atoyithola lendlela yeku outsource lama resources. Lokunye kunananka policies langavumeli bamfula basha they do not favor the young person. Khona nje lokuthi khona uyangena nje bakutshela ukuthi umflomusha asimthembi when dosathi imali uyidlabhadise kuphi. What happened to trusting the process? Nabe angithembi ngifundise phela ukuthi into wadi ukuthi resources ngiwasebenzisa kanjani. Ngiyabonga.
Okay. Young people do not have information on how to access resources that could help them in whatever they are doing, and some policies do not favor young people in a way that they will not advance or give young people some financial assistance. Let us educate the young people to know exactly what is needed of them in order to be able to access those financial support that they need. Thank you. Okay.
Ngicabanga ukuthi lokunye lokuyi challenge kakhulu i-corruption like wayimention asisla. Esikhathini lesinyende ukhanza ukuthi sibani labasha noma besingathi nje siyahlangana la kuba khona sikwendako ukhanza ukuthi laba labayifule sibethembile sababeka ngaphambili kwethu bangabe basathembeka nasingalungisa nje indzaba yokuthi noma ngaba kwethembile labantu maybe knowledge lethithe bakubekele ngaphambili sale bese uyethembeka phela kulabantu noma ngakuthiwa maybe usethe imali noma yini nasingalungisa nje indzaba yekwethembeka kwekuthi abakakubekeli kwekuthi bese sewenda ama-dodgy games kule nangi leyo uthembeke noma ngaba kwethemba kumbe unelwathi lelinconywana kunabo maintain nje indzaba yokwethembeka because i-corruption ngiyo lemoshile labanye baqale kahle but base babeka abantu labathithela ngaphambili akathi labantu ababekela ngaphambili abasathembekanga balimata wonke lo msebenzi lomuhle nale micondo lemihle lebebeta nayo. Ngiyabonga.
Corruption can be a challenge, and those that are put in a position to represent young people have to be trustworthy and do what they have been sent. Thank you.
I think it is by not addressing the importance of art in our communities. I think i-solution yalapho kungaba ukuthi kube nama-life and career coaches kulama communities esiphuma kuwo For an example, let me say sengicedzile esikoleni sengifuna ukufundzela. Sengiyahamba mengifika lapha ngive ngikhetha nje career mhlawumbe something that is not in me. Ngeke ngibe nethando lokwenda lo msebenzi lo. Each and every time when I supposed to wake up in the morning or at night and do my work. Ngawenda just for the sake of ukuthi ngiyahola, but the real fact is angisendeli ukuthi ngiyawuthanda lo msebenzi sengendela ukuhola kuphela. I think that is another.
What he's saying, the challenge he sees is that of not embracing art as a career. There should be mentors and in communities that mentor people that want to do art, to venture into that aspect. Can we move on to the last question? What do you think the UN role is?
Once in a lifetime opportunity. And I
How
think
can global cooperation, in particularly the UN, better help manage the challenges that you have raised? I know some of you have come up with a solution while we were raising the challenge. And then what do others think?
Yeah, my sister was actually mentioning that we were live, so our UN colleagues are listening. So now we want you to tell us, as the UN, how can we help to manage the challenges that you've mentioned? So now you're addressing yourself to UN chief, our colleagues in Eswatini, or those who are listening and who are preparing reports. So we want you, the voice from you, to tell us how can we help you manage these challenges.
Yes, Lamasana.
Thank you very much. It starts with ufaka bamfu labasha ndzawonye kuze sitotfola letinkinga. It starts with these kinds of setups, these kinds of dialogues. First things first, ngaba kuhle ukuthi sibe nawo nje angabi ngekuthi si celebrate 75 years wa UN, singabe ukuthi siya halalisa ukuthi UN so hambe sigaba lesingaka. Maybe just once in a while, sihleti nje sithulile nje kuyi normal day, singa celebrate 75 years of United Nations kuthi sophilile. Kube nalama youth dialogues. Kungabi nekuthi kune COVID-19 asesibuke ukuthi batosita njani mamflabasha. Asisinje sihleti nje kuthiwe you are invited to a youth dialogue. Nalokunye ukuthi that these organizations lakhona lesiva ngathi awekho serious because atfolakala emaphandleni, they're from the grassroots of the country. These organizations, trust me, they have quite concrete and kunetinfo lema challenges laba face because bona ngibo labahamba baya ebantfini lawo ma organizations lawo lebo inhlangano tebamflabash ngibo labahamba baya lebantfu lemakhaya le emiphakathini batfole letinkinga but abati ukuthi batoti developer kanjani batosuka njani lapho. So it's wise that the United Nations take note of that, because that is where they're going to find these challenges and they're going to find the solutions as well. And kukhona lokuthiwa ma youth consortiums lapho khona sibamflabasha sifike khona sifike sikhale sibhodlise inhlitiyo sisho tinkinga tethu. Take note of that as well, because that is where we bring forth our challenges and also the solutions. I thank you.
Using the forums such as these to dialogue and get the issues that the young people are bringing to us, not waiting for a certain commemoration or celebration to get the issues out of young people. Thank you very much.
I think kungaba kuthina singachubeka nje kube nekubambisana phakathi kwemhlabhlangene na hulumende welive, especially etindzabeni temithetho, your policies and your bills. Sichubeke sibambisane to ensure that youth participation and involvement is enhanced. Ngidawubekisa nje sitabe discussa youth bill, so kungaba ngilothi sichubeke nje kube nalokubambisana kulelo hlangothi to ensure that young people are recognized and their skills and as well as unemployment addressega and all the likes.
Okay, continued the cooperation between the government and the UN in ensuring that laws and policies that affect the youth are taken into consideration.
Cha bakangwane. Kule ndlela lengiyibuka ngayo. UN kumbe babambisene nabo bonke leto tinini tenkosi. Abangasilaleli nje kuphela. Abangasibiti nje bafike basihlalise basikhulumise bevela amaphuzu emva kwaloko bangayi kuyowasebenza. Cause kutawufana nekokuthi kuwasteke ama resources. So ngekubuka kwami kutaba kuhle kokuthi lokhu labatakuthola la bahambe bayokusebenzisa kungabi njengokuthi kumbe bathatha lolo liqwaningo. Amen.
Whatever has been spoken or contributed by the youth, let it be taken into action and not just another dialogue without action. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to add, iglokishiwo ngibhudi ukuthi sicela ukuthi bantu labadala basibambise. Ngicela ukuthi ke mneke sicela ukuthi nathi sibantu labasha sibe nalomuntu lomusha lesingakhona ukuthi siye kuye nalama organization ethu lamancane sikhona ukuthi sithi nisibitile sathi so cha sawenda sende sikhulumise ahambe ayosibikela bese soyabuyisa impendulo ukuthi wo kuhambe kanje kwahamba kanje kunekuthi sibuye sihlangane because nathi siyahlangana lemakhaya sathi ukuthi okay uyile wabuya ubuya nempendulo lezi.
Okay, continuous communication between the youth and the systems that are in place, and then using the young people, whoever is representing them, to carry the message through and take back the responses to the young people. Thank you very much. You will have an opportunity of sending, if you have more of this, it's allowed, you will be given a website where you can actually put on more of your responses. But this is where we end as a group. You have spoken, we have heard, and we are passing on the message. And we have heard clearly that you're saying actions after the issues have been spoken. From me, I'd like to thank you very much for your time and cooperation. It was always a pleasure to work with young people and your energies. So who are we? What are we part of? Solution. What is important? Our voices. Thank you so much. Can I hand over back to
And we've heard those voices. Thank you very much. Ngicela simshayele tandla make Phiwa. Ekuqaleni nona sicala besithe sicela ukuthi nikhululeke nikhulume, and I'm happy that you did that. We may look like we are a small group, but we are representing a whole lot of people, and some of them have been joining. As I think my sister put it rightly, that let's share this discussion further with our social media. Let's engage more. The dialogues should not end with this one. For us as the youth, some we will be invited by you. Some we can initiate from our side, but I think it's been more interesting when you invite or ask for support as young people that you want to have a discussion, and possibly you need this kind of support. So thank you very much. This is the kind of life that we want. We want more of your involvement from the grassroots level, and I think that point was clear. You cannot do anything without involving us. So thank you very much. I want to end here as well, before I spoil all the discussion that we've had, by saying this is not the end of it, and be on the lookout for more. I think you guys, maybe data issues may be an issue, but be online. Most of the discussion is happening there. Also, as a request, we will try and do it now, but if you go to un.org/UN75, you will find a survey there where we are requesting you to participate in. That's a global survey. So www.un.org/UN75. So that's where you will see a lot of what we're discussing here today, even from other countries. But more importantly, we want you to go and participate in that online survey. The survey, I think, is going for 400,000 participants now. You can, at the end of the survey, you can actually see what other people think after you've submitted your own. So you can actually see if you are in line, what is everybody else thinking around the world, and then you can say, oh, well, my voice or my opinion is not among the popular opinions, but it's there. What are the majority of people saying? So we ask you to do that. So at this stage, it's the end. We will end nicely as well. We will try. My colleague will guide us outside. Usually we take a photo since we've been in this venue for more than one day. Outside there's a pool side. So we usually take a photo. They will try to arrange nicely that we can all fit without anybody drowning or being pushed into that pool or those pools because there are many there.